Well, it is 1 year to the day that a Delta flight from Minneapolis crash landed at the Toronto airport, flipping over and landing upside down. Amazingly, everyone survived, but things have been challenging for some in the year since. Here's Jason Hackett.
If you told him a year ago a plane crash would be just the start of his struggles,
yeah.
John Nelson probably wouldn't believe you.
I mean, there's not a day that I don't deal with it in some way, right? Sleep has been really elusive for the past couple of months as well.
It's not easy for John to relive that nightmarish day.
Even having this conversation now, is this a little bit triggering with you?
Yeah, that's it. I had a window seat. I was like hyper aware of the moment.
Delta Flight 4819 was coming in for a landing at Toronto Pearson Airport.
It felt like we were coming in very fast. Oh, no, 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 no.
What happened next caught on this dramatic video by a bystander.
You could feel the inertia and the force of the plane like just hitting the ground. And then the right landing gear breaks. And that's what causes it to tip to the left, and then the wing hits the ground, jet fuel smell, fire hanging upside down.
Amazingly, every passenger and crew member, all 80 on board, survived.
We get off the plane and you're glad to be alive, right? And so for those first couple of days, besides like the soreness, you start to think like, hey, this wasn't like horrible. Like, I'm alive, like I don't feel terrible. And then what happens is like the stress starts to release from the body.
John says that stress is showing up mentally and physically.
I had a torn retina, so they came in and they had to like stitch my eye essentially back together. Like a disc issue that's causing like numbness in my first two fingers on that arm as well.
It caused him to cut down on traveling for work. At this point, getting on a plane is basically impossible for him to do. He says he leans on a group chat he and other survivors created for support.
And there are very few people that can say they survived a plane crash.
And he's hearing similar things.
I don't believe anybody escaped sort of unharmed. Neck and sort of back issues, the PTSD, the struggle just kind of day in and day out with anxiety.
Struggles personally and with Delta.
In those first couple days after the accident, they were so very proactive, trying to talk to make this right. And then everything just comes to a screeching halt, right? And this is very lengthy process at this point.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm mixed emotions about that as well, right? Like, I do believe that this accident could have been prevented.
In the midst of uncertainty and pain, John says he appreciates the little moments.
But we ended upside down. I was hanging there in my seatbelt upside down.
But did you die?
How much do those moments of levity help with the situation?
Yeah, I find some humor in it, so like for me, that's very like helpful.
Knowing how close he was to losing everything helps to put life in perspective and his family's love in full focus.
The four of us have always been very close, but now it's just a little bit sweeter in life, you know, kind of feeling, right? It has changed my perspective on life. I don't think it'll ever sort of go back, and I'm just happy to be here.
Well, CARE did reach out to Delta for comment. A spokesperson told us they are still fully engaged in the investigation and are awaiting a final report from the Transportation Safety Board of Canada.